Pashinyan has subjected the Armenian nation to unimaginable calamities. When he came to power in 2018, he was completely lost and directionless on foreign policy matters. He was the most extremist and uncompromising of all previous Armenian leaders on the issue of Nagorno-Karabakh. His conflicting rhetoric triggered the war, which he then mismanaged, leading to obvious consequences and repercussions. Now, he has suddenly reinvented himself as a visionary, a messiah who will bring peace to the Armenian people, but on the ruins of Armenian losses and at the expense of Armenian national identity and statehood. No matter how he presents himself, Pashinyan is a failure, and no self-respecting nation would tolerate such a person at its helm. This is evident as a substantial segment of the Armenian people want to see Pashinyan simply go. Polls and the large crowds in the streets of Yerevan reflect this sentiment. In Armenia, any movement that gathers 5,000 or 100,000 people demanding the Prime Minister's resignation reflects the will of the people. Well, the choice before the Armenian people today is not, as Pashinyan manipulatively asserts, between war and peace. It's not. It is rather between an authoritarian, non-democratic police state, constantly under threat of war, and the national unity government ready to negotiate a real and just peace with Azerbaijan. Pashinyan's version of peace, if implemented, means the end of Armenia's democracy and sovereignty. We have already seen since the end of the 44-day war how the shift towards the authoritarian police state has severely eroded civil liberties, stifled political opposition, and concentrated power in the hands of one person. This process is only deepened and be reinforced. We have also seen how Pashinyan's unilateral compromises have undermined Armenia's sovereignty and territorial integrity. Now, countries genuinely interested in achieving peace in the region and having a democratic Armenia at the same time also have a choice to make. Simply encouraging and helping Pashinyan to continue on the path of endless compromises does a disservice to the Armenian people and the region. They need to pause, revisit their approach, and start looking at resolving this problem not from their own geopolitical interests, but rather from the interests of both Armenia and Azerbaijan. As I have repeatedly insisted, there are serious peaceful alternatives to Pashinyan's incompetence and submissive policies. I firmly believe that negotiations based on three fundamental principles will lead to a genuine and lasting peace between Armenia and Azerbaijan. First, respect for each other's territorial integrity, yes, based on a mutually agreed map though, yet with the flexibility of accommodating situations on the ground based on internationally accepted guidelines. Second, the return of the people of Nagorno-Karabakh to their homes under international protection with access to Armenia, but in exchange for reciprocal access for mainland Azerbaijan to Nakhichevan. Third, both sides may agree on a military build-up cap and sign a non-aggression treaty. These are the broad principles. The details can be worked out in negotiations. Unfortunately, Armenia is not engaged in genuine negotiations today, but is simply being capitulated under duress. This sets dangerous precedent where coercion and military threats dictate terms, undermining the principles of sovereignty and self-determination.